stars, world leaders and celebrities streamed across the stage, all paying tribute to the man known as the father of a modern, free South Africa.
And in our African tradition, when it rains, when you are buried, it means that your gods are welcoming you and the gates of heaven are most probably open as well.
Nelson Mandela, Aunaya Sanangli, Tata Madiba, Tata Madiba, Age.
You are lodged in our memories. You tower over the world like a comet, leaving streaks of light for us to follow.
He was one of our greatest teachers. He taught by example.
Sing it with us again. My life is in your hands. Johannesburg, my life is in your hands.
Mandela taught us the power of action, but he also taught us the power of ideas. The importance of reason and arguments. The need to study not only those who you agree with, but also those who you don't agree with.
Esse grande líder, Nelson Mandela.
This great leader, Nelson Mandela, had his eyes on the future of his country, his people, and all Africa.
The great man has left, but Mandela's thought and his spirit will live forever.
Rendimos emocionado tributo a Nelson Mandela.
Let us pay emotional tribute to Nelson Mandela, the ultimate symbol of dignity and unwavering dedication to the revolutionary struggle for freedom and justice, a prophet of unity, peace and reconciliation.
He leaves behind a nation that loves him dearly.
We promise God that we are going to follow the example of Nelson Mandela.
Robin Kerner was part of CNN's team of correspondents inside the memorial. She is now outside the Mandela family home in Johannesburg. Robin, there were all these security fears. The day went off smoothly, and in fact it did turn out to be the commemoration but also the celebration of Nelson Mandela's life.
Absolutely, and despite the pouring rain, it's still raining here in Johannesburg. It's been a very grey day. But people danced, sang, paid their respects. That air of celebration was very evident. Many people brought umbrellas with them, so you sort of saw the sea of umbrellas as we looked down over the crowds, all colourful, and it sort of evoked again that sort of image of this rainbow nation that Archbishop Desmond Tutu conjured up in those early days of democracy. He was, of course, referring to a multicultural, a new nation that included blacks and whites. But I think that wonderful colour of South Africa that you're seeing now here, people still dancing in the rain, the colour, the joyfulness, the singing, the sense of joie de vivre that you saw in Nelson Mandela was very evident today, despite the greyness of the weather. And what was also evident, I mean, just remember, Mandela was about as famous person as you could get, and even the most powerful people in the world wanted their photo with him. Well, it got even better today. There's a picture out which shows the Danish Prime Minister Helle Thorning-Schmidt doing a sort of one of those selfies with David Cameron, the British Prime Minister, on one side and Barack Obama on the other side. They're all sort of going like this, you know. You wonder if they're going to post it to their Twitter account, you know, saying, you know, this was us at Mandela's memorial. Everybody seemed to be doing that, from, you know, the most powerful people in the world to ordinary people under their umbrellas who wanted visual proofs that they were there too.
Yeah, and we're looking at that picture you've just described now, that selfie, Robin. But on a more serious note, I mean, it's rare, and perhaps we will never see again such a culmination of world leaders and representatives, heads of state, at a gathering like this. Is the legacy of Nelson Mandela being reinforced here, resonating with the government of South Africa, which still has its issues and challenges? Or is it just simply being taken as a commemoration by the leaders of South Africa today?
As usual, you know, today, as is common here in South Africa and as indicative of South Africa, it was nuanced and layered and complicated and complex, because a few times during the service, the memorial, President Jacob Zuma was heckled. We heard a few boos. At first, we thought that couldn't possibly be what's happening, but the government, the ANC, has confirmed that the president was heckled. They're saying it was ill-disciplined, it was badly behaved people, or badly timed. But there is that sense that many South Africans wanted a change of leadership. In fact, a few times when Jacob Zuma appeared on the big television screen, some people made the sign that you make in a football match, in a soccer match, when you want the coach to change the players, you know, that this was a sense that they wanted another one, you know, they want another leader on. So there was this dichotomy, this contrast between Jacob Zuma, the leader today that South Africa has, and of course Nelson Mandela. And I think it's a very difficult comparison, particularly for someone like Zuma, who has been criticized for not being visionary, for not sort of perhaps being as, I don't know, as you know, he's not Nelson Mandela. How do you fill someone's shoes? But there's a lot of criticism, a lot of people looking today at what is South Africa, has it lived up to its standards? Even Archbishop Desmond Tutu at the end saying, dear God, let us be disciplined, let us not betray the vision of Madiba. So that was quite a powerful message coming out, I must say.
All right, and of course, the powerful message, but also people mourning, grieving, and celebrating, even tonight behind you there, Robin, outside Nelson Mandela's home in Johannesburg. Thank you, Robin. Well, as we have mentioned, people travel from around the world to this memorial service, but they also came from nearby, waiting for hours to board buses to the stadium and pay their final respects. CNN's Arwa Damon rode with some of them on a short but incredible journey.
How long have you guys been waiting? Long! We've been waiting since from 6 o'clock.
Some of these people have been waiting for 3 hours just to get on this bus. So cramped in here that a short while ago, some of these gentlemen almost fell outside the door. But everyone, as you can see, incredibly excited to finally be on their way.
And once dropped off, despite some initial confusion.
Where are we going? Which way? This side or this way?
The mood is utterly infectious.
Goodbye, Dad. Rest in peace. I love you.
I'm feeling good. Yeah, why?
Because I'm going to fight other people. This is Mandela's Day.
We're being absolutely mobbed with people. They just want to express how much they love and their sheer gratitude for the man that has utterly transformed this nation.
I love you, Tata. Rest in peace.
The stadium cold, wet, and absolutely electric. And at times emotional. This man said he was too overwhelmed to speak to us. Bawana Molife came with her friend, arriving at 5 a.m. just to make sure they got in. She's 25, a banking assistant, a life she knows she owes to Mandela.
I wouldn't have had the opportunities that I had, the kind of education that I have, the kind of job I have right now, and all the possibilities that still lie ahead of me wouldn't be possible had it not been for him and the other struggle heroes.
South Africa could have been a Syria or an Iraq. Instead, it's an example of what can happen when people find the capacity to forgive and unite. Lessons we can all stand to learn, and lessons South Africa must make sure it doesn't forget.
The most important thing is for the leadership that we have right now to follow in his footsteps in order for us to eradicate all the problems that the country is still facing.
Arwa Damon, CNN, Johannesburg.
And while much of the world's attention is